I'll record the intro since this will be the first video in this playlist, but most of the others I'll just be silent most video, except for the very end where I say this is Lunar D8 signing out. At one point I did a Power Tabs playlist, but I got distracted with a lot of other stuff on the YouTube, so this will be a playlist that'll be more dedicated to just being sheet music stuff. I'll probably have more Black Sabbath and Ozzy stuff to throw in there, but it's going to be a lot of bands like Korn, System of a Down, Disturbed, as well as various video game music like Silent Hill or Sonic the Hedgehog, maybe Korn, Malmsteen, Led Zeppelin, so maybe some Avenged Sevenfold, Final Fantasy, a whole lot of Final Fantasy. Though I would say, like Silent Hill, I think I just have one or a couple songs from 1, 2, and 3. Room of Angels are a really good song for Silent Hill 4, but one, it's more so the vocals that are good for that, and also I don't have that at all for this. But yeah, this will be the only video that I do the intro for. But yeah, this playlist will... God. And there's my phone ringing. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to do the intro for this video as well as just a general idea of everything. It was just... Okay, that's distracting. But yeah. Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. I'm just a guy who likes Let's Plays. I like guitar, I like music, I like anime, I like video games. I promise nothing, I guarantee even less. The only thing consistent about my channel is a complete and total lack of professionalism. If you haven't heard of them, I would definitely suggest watching some videos by Graysteel Plays or Asmongold. Beyond that, yeah, this playlist is just another thing I felt like doing. So, like I said, this will be the only video that'll have an intro out of this playlist. But yeah, I'm wanting to just share for those of you who like guitar or just, the sheet music's here. So, say if you play, I don't know, a piano or a flute, you could, play this Disturbed song on your flute or the keyboard or whatever instrument. Honestly, if you guys, whether you play this on an electric guitar, which I guess, this is mainly what it's meant for, but you know what? Anyone out there, if you do karaoke or play something on, let me know. I still say, I made a parody song of Sweet Dreams called All the Neckos You're Meowing for Headpads. So, I'm just saying, I like this music, and in general, I just think it's cool to even listen to it in this format. Even though it's, not without, because like I said, yes, you don't have the rest of the instruments, and you don't have the person singing, but I think the music sounds really cool, even just like this. And if I can, inspire people out there, especially if you're someone playing guitar or just has an interest in music, you can see this video and you can be like, wow, that's a really cool song. Though I would hope that you've, heard of the band Disturbed before, or Sonic the Hedgehog, but, if not, then you get interested in great music. So, one, that's cool. You get to enjoy awesome music but honestly, I would imagine you heard about it before me. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy music. I enjoy ASMR. Though I doubt I'll ever have, real actually. I made a couple joke things with ASMR, but yeah, in general, I don't think I'll ever actually be making ASMR. I know one thing I've been wanting to do. I made a couple videos called Lunatic Angel. One with Rei Ayanami, where it was me really talking about some stuff, because some of my videos are kind of like a vlog sort of thing, because this is just a channel for me to talk without a filter and just be able to talk about things. I would say I would talk more during my Let's Plays or just these videos than I have during the rest of my entire life. I don't really talk to people very often. So I guess talking to all of you via the computer screen will have to count for a social life. Yeah, but I kind of forgot what I was talking about. Something, I don't know. I forgot what I was saying. But I just, yeah, I spaced out. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was talking about. I mean, obviously there's guitar tabs here. I mean, and like I said, even if you don't play guitar, I mean, if you have a keyboard, there's sheet music's here, so you could play Disturbed on your keyboard. I don't know, just there's so many really great bands, and ideally, like if you're someone out there who plays guitar or, like I said, any other instrument, you can see this and you can learn how to play a new song. So, whichever way you choose to enjoy this video, whether it's just you being introduced to just how great, the music of just one instrument and a song can be, let alone certain bands that maybe you're not familiar with the band Korn or Disturbed, or how amazing, old retro, video game music is. So, one, either you get to be introduced to new awesome music, or say if you're someone playing guitar, I mean, you could look at this, and obviously in other videos you won't have to deal with me rambling on, but, like I said, this channel is this place for me to talk about whatever, and it's just whatever I feel like talking about, so there's no consistency other than it's just me. So it's just however I'm feeling from day to day. And a lot of times I'll try to make jokes, and other times I'll get emotional, and other times I'll just have fun playing a video game. Heck, there's sometimes like back when I did the Let's Play of Super Meat Boy, I cussed so much playing that, but I had a lot of fun. So even though I cussed a lot at the game, I had fun playing it. So yeah, like I said, this will be the only video with the intro. I think for today I'll put up like a few videos, a Disturbed one, maybe a couple other things. But this will be something I'll just put something in from time to time. And also I'll try to be less, I don't know, ADHD, autistic in the future. Now I'm just imagining Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta in the corner saying, "Be more autistic!" Which in of itself, imagining that scenario, I think counts as ADHD. I'm not sure. I don't know. Nor does it matter. Everyone's like, what's happening here? And I'm like, I don't know. But that's the story of my whole fucking channel. It's just like, heck, I started with like playing, I did a couple live streams and played some like Enter the Gungeon and Code Vein and Blaze Blue and so yeah, this will be the only video I do an intro for on this. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and heck, I hope you enjoy the music, and I hope this helps you learn how to play this on a guitar or piano or whatever. And I encourage people to play instruments, as well as I encourage everyone out there to sing karaoke. So, and like I said, if you guys make any videos of you guys like learning any of this stuff, feel free to share. I know I have links technically blocked, but that's just, a deal of like bot issues. But you can like mention like, hey, come visit my channel. I posted this one video. I don't mind self-promotion. Or if like you want to like suggest some other Let's Player or musician or whatever, that's cool. Like, it's not like my channel's monetized. Hell, my channel's never going to be monetized. I've never made a cent from this channel. I made this channel about 4 years ago. I have never made a single cent from this channel. But like I said, I'm just some crazy random dude who's like, hey, anyone see this video game? Oh, that reminds me. Right, the thing I was saying with the Lunatic Angel. There's also one I made with Rei Ayanami and another made with a picture from Brave Fence Musashi. But the idea is maybe one day, like at one point I was looking into things like Midjourney or AIs like that. But like Twitter has an AI like that Elon Musk made called like Grok or something, or Grok 2. And I'm like, maybe one day, because technically it wouldn't be bound by the limitations of my computer. I'd be accessing Elon Musk's computer pretty much, because it's like an AI Elon Musk made that I'd be accessing via the web and the clouds and stuff. But the point being is this. I'm interested in eventually using AI to, one, do various Dragon Ball Z fusions of anime characters, many of which being the 11 fusions that are, well, me. And I know that sounds a bit, well, cliche. Well, I don't know. I don't think cliche is the right word. Cliche would denote some amount of sanity or normality, which, when you're describing your personality in terms of fusions of anime characters, I don't think I'm any longer qualified to describe what counts as normal. But yeah, like I've never, or the monetization thing. I've never made a cent on this channel. I'm not some brand. I'm not some like business. I'm never going to have a merch store. There's never going to be like Lunar D8 merch. I'm never going to have like super chats or any of that sort of stuff. Though I'm sure like YouTube will put ads on my videos anyway, but that's fine. It's YouTube's site. It's not like I had to pay to have YouTube, so that's fine. YouTube can make money off me, even if I don't. But the main point is this, and it's not like I don't need money. I mean, I work in a factory a lot, and I barely get by. Hence why like all the video games I've been playing for like the past few months is, free. Also, my computer's kind of at its limits, and my laptop is no longer functioning with certain games. And I'm like constantly running out of, storage space on the laptop. So like there's times I have to delete, games and stuff. Like I can't even install a large game anymore. I could never reinstall like Shadow of War, not that I ever played to begin with. But somehow like I made Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 play and it like recorded perfectly. Whereas Shadow Wars is a PowerPoint presentation of Italians stabbing orcs and me yelling incoherently over it. Now Spyro the Dragon, I did one video of that, Reignited, because I really liked the game. Because I'll say this, I really enjoyed sitting and playing video games with my mom when I was younger, as well as my mom cooked a lot, and I would sit in the kitchen and talk to her while she cooked. Main point I'm saying is this: I may have some disagreements with my mom about certain things, but all in all, I love my mom very, very much, and she's actually the person I love the most in this world, and the person I can trust and know the best in this world, and the person who actually seems to care about me the most in this whole world. So yeah, granted, the two people, if I could describe there's two people in this world I love, it'd be my mother and my son. But yeah, I just say I love my mom very, very much. But so what can I say? Nostalgia. But I know, like, I made one video of Spyro very early on, like probably about 3.5 years ago. But it did not record very well. It looked amazing as I was playing it, but it did not record well, and it looks like 4 frames per minute. So I mean, the video is still on. So if you want to watch it, I feel like your eyes will be in physical pain from the way the frame rate. Like I've watched the recording and it hurts my eyes. It physically hurts my eyes to watch the recording of the game I made. I mean, the commentaries. Well, honestly, it's just me making sexual jokes the whole time that are inappropriate, and they're not even in good taste. I mean, it's not like we're talking high class hentai here with premium fan service like Senran Kagura. Listening to me make random sexual jokes is like walking into a tentacle hentai that you weren't expecting. So yeah. I mean, granted, it's probably the least flattering way of describing my channel. It's like, oh, what's it like at Lunar D8's channel? Well, it was just tentacle hentai, and I was not expecting it. I mean, it's an accurate way of describing my thought process. It's just a very unflattering one. But, And back to the monetization thing. Like I said, even if I had 1 million subscribers, I would never monetize a channel. But like I said, why on earth would YouTube ever want to monetize me, given what I've already just described? It's like, granted, I don't like post nudity and stuff, like, that I'm not allowed to post, but in general, I am the cringiest person on the internet, and I talk about cursed fucking shit. I'm simultaneously the most annoying and most boring person on the internet, and in general, I am just some random guy who makes inappropriate jokes that aren't even funny and aren't even in good taste, and sometimes don't even make sense. I don't know. I made a video called Lunar D8 Apology Video. So that's my apology to everyone for being, well, just so fucking awful at, existence. I do one thing, exist, and I do that poorly. But yeah, it's just... yeah, I'm me. But hey, I enjoy being me. So, I'm sorry you all have to suffer with having to deal with me, and if you've been so unfortunate to, come across my channel and meet me, I'm waving at you. You can't see it, but yeah. Also, I'm not going to say I'm sorry because I don't feel bad for anything. So, yeah. But, yeah, like, well over 3,000 videos. Like, almost like 3,200 videos. So, there's a lot of variety. So, maybe one of those videos would be something you like. I don't know. I also have the world record for the deepest floor in the Binding of Isaac Repentance. I went to, in Infinite Basements, I went to floor 9,000 plus. It took me a couple months. It was like 3 years ago or some shit. I don't know. But, yeah. I'm never going to be monetized. But even if I had 1 million subscribers, and even if YouTube wanted to monetize me, I'm not going to. Like I said, I'm not some brand. I'm not some, it's not like I'm going to have fucking sponsors and, you're going to be like, welcome to Lunar D8's channel with like Raid Shadow Legends or T. Shanley or Manscaped or buy this limited edition collection of dildos or gamer sups or hey, waifu titty milk half naked anime girl. What do you call it? It's like a tumbler? I think the type of cup's called a tumbler. I don't know. Now I'm just thinking about naked anime girls. Like I said, there's not even context. It's not like I'm describing a scene. It's just me spacing out, imagining naked anime women. And now they're futa. Yeah. I don't know where the hell you are either. Like, it's like, where the hell am I on the internet? It's like, it's you. Like I said, I made it clear in the intro. You are in the cringiest place on the internet. Again, let me say the intro. Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. The most cursed, most cringiest corner. Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone, both analog and digital world. Well, welcome, good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. I have never made a cent off this channel. I never will. There will never be merch. There will never be sponsors. It's just me, some random crazy guy who works in a factory and just comes home and yells at video games and makes very poor quality videos while he rambles crazily, doing schizo post incoherent mumblings and yells a lot and tries to speak in German. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to German. How to German. But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Aside from actually playing the song that's everyone's been waiting for. But like I said, at one point I want to use the anime. I mean the anime. The artificial intelligence by Elon Musk to the Grok 2. I want to do various Dragon Ball Z fusions of a lot of characters, including a character I think would be very beautiful in terms of personality and physique, would be a Dragon Ball Z fusion of Roll Casket from Mega Man Legends and Albedo from Overlord. I think that's just very pretty. Everyone's like a Shifuta in my mind. But beyond that, I remember I played VR Chat about a year ago now, very briefly. I remember this place that was like the skyscraper overlooking a city, and it was nighttime, and it was raining, and it was like several interconnected floors of a giant skyscraper that was like 20 different living rooms and shit. And VR Chat's meant to be a place where antisocial people that can go around and just talk to people and be sociable. Like the whole point of the game is you're supposed to be sociable, and it's meant for people that are normally antisocial to be easier being sociable. And yet my first instinct of being in that game is, granted in the game I was standing, but in real life I was just sitting. And keep in mind, when I did this, it was a couple days before I had that bladder surgery. Because like I said, about a few days from now, basically about a year exactly in the past, I've had bladder surgery, which I had to, or else I was going to die. So that would have sucked. Dying's inconvenient. But the surgery was definitely very uncomfortable, and, well, I was in a lot of pain for a few days, and I was very, very miserable, and I was in a lot of pain. But I'll say this. My mom and dad took me to the hospital, because you're not allowed to drive under the effects of anesthetics. But, yeah, they drove me to the hospital. Dad went home. Mom stayed with me during the while I was getting ready for the, prep stuff, and then get surgery, then recovery, and then, which was like a couple hours or some shit, I don't know. I can't. And then basically Mom called Dad. Dad came, picked us up, drove us home. Dad actually drove up onto the yard a bit, and actually held my hand and walked me to the door, which is a bit, like I said, me and him have some issues, but in general, he's not a bad person, and I don't want to disrespect him. It's just I do have some things. I do have my grievances with him, which it bothers me, but that's just an issue of my own personal feelings as well as me just as a person. But that being said, I do appreciate that he drove me to the hospital and drove back, and he even helped me up to my door of my apartment. And like I said, in general, he's a good person, and he's helped with some stuff in the past. It's just, I do have some disagreements with him, and those things do bother me. So, also my right arm's been sprained for about like the fucking past month for my job. I do a lot of manual labor. I know when I first started, like my job, I had the doctor wanted to give me a week's worth of prednisone just because I was spraining and straining, especially my right arm, and even had some tendonitis. Still fucking there, by the way, because tendons take a while to recover. But hey, taking a bunch of ibuprofen and just doing shit anyway, despite the pain, that's... But I know one bad thing with tendonitis is it's not just an issue of soreness and pain, is that you actually do lose a bit of strength. So it makes it harder. So it just means... But at that point, you just, force more effort through it. It's harder, so you just try harder. Also, that's not good advice to anyone out there. Obviously, if anyone out there has any sort of injury in any sort of way, or any concerns about physical health, please listen to your doctors. I just, have a job I have to do, and so, I don't exactly have the luxury of just saying, oh, my arm hurts too much, I can't do this. No, it's more like, even if ibuprofen, it's going to hurt, but I'm just going to do the task anyway because that's my job. Everyone's like, you sound like you suck, Lunar. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm not successful. I'm not rich. I'm sure as fuck not attractive. I'm overweight. I can't bench press like any, amount of weight on a bench press that I would have any amount of pride in. Or anyone else would want to compliment me for. I mean, I try to bench press. I don't do well. I do not do anything that's impressive. But I try really hard. I just fail really hard too. I forget what the fuck I'm talking about. But it's just... Alright, the VR thing. Right, I got back from the surgery. My mom spent the night over here. My mom was here for 3 days and 3 nights when she came back with me from that surgery, just because, and I needed her over here just because I was in a lot of pain, and it was just, my body was, at some point eventually just gradually started shutting down to where I just didn't want to move. I was just in too much pain. And granted, I did enjoy, we watched some Jackie Chan movies, and watched Conan the Barbarian, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I enjoyed spending the time with my mom, but it would have been nice if it was under better circumstances. Which I guess that's another thing we're saying, under better circumstances, is that part of me thinks that one day, maybe I can go over and spend more time with Mom and maybe sit down and play some video games with her again. But I feel like... I don't know. Then again, I have tons of other personal issues, but of course, I've talked about that stuff, because I basically have de facto made all of you my fucking therapist. But hey, that's one thing I try to... One, I think whether it's physical or mental health, all of you out there should talk to actual doctors, whether they're physical family doctors or psychiatrists or therapists or whatever. But in general, I do try to encourage people that it's good for you to express yourselves. I mean, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anyone else, I think it's good to express yourself, to find things that make you happy. And while I wouldn't recommend crying in public, because in general I don't cry in public or in front of people, except, times where I was in a lot of pain or people died. But, in general, I tend to cry a lot. I'll lay in bed in the dark listening to nightcore music, and obviously I wouldn't recommend people to do that in front of other people, especially unless you really trust that person and feel safe with them. But in general, I imagine most people really don't have anything, and you don't want to overwhelm somebody. So just, I think it's a good way to vent as well as, if not, bring about catharsis. You know, it helps you to, whether it's listening to nightcore music and crying and letting out pent up negative emotions, playing Halo and, you know, shooting all the enemies with the battle rifle and having a blast, or playing the game Crackdown for the Xbox 360 way back in the past, where you've taken the harpoon gun and you've harpoon gunned people to your tires, and now these people are all stuck to your tires, like they're stapled to your tires, and you were like driving down the sidewalk, running down more people while you shoot out the side of your car or something. I'm just saying, it's fun to play video games, and it's sometimes good just turn your mind off and just have fun and relax. And of course, there's so many different games. There's games that have really good stories, special visual novels. Like, you guys ever play like Raging Loop or Data Live or AI Somnium Files or Song of Memories? Like, some games, there's no actual action, but there's great stories and great art and great music. Other games like Halo, especially the original Halo trilogy, or certain racing games, it's just action and fun. You know, not all games have to have all the different good, things in it. But the main point is this: what matters most is this: are you enjoying the game? So, and sometimes you just want to have fun. And another thing I do is I sing karaoke. Now, I'm terrible at singing, but in general, I want to encourage people to sing. I think it's healthy emotionally for people to do that. And I think it would be good for people. So, and granted, while I say to take everything I say with a grain of salt, you shouldn't take advice from a random crazy person on the internet. You guys don't know how mentally unstable I am. So maybe following my life advice, especially when I talk about, I'm going to try this diet or I'm going to try this workout plan. And, well, I'm not athletic. I'm just a person who's like, hey, I really want to try and do stuff. And I'm just sort of bringing you guys along for my failure. So obviously maybe trying to do the same things I do, especially since a lot of stuff is inconsistent or I don't stick with it, is probably not a recipe for success. But in general, it's kind of like Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's like the greatest boxer ever. And sometimes I'll try to copy some of his workout stuff. Now, I'll never be even a millionth of the type of boxer or athlete that he is. But at least by, watching him and trying to copy him, I can at least improve myself and be better than who I was the previous day. I'll never be athletic, but I'll at least be better. And that's a small victory, I guess. But I want to encourage people to, sing karaoke or to draw anime, like get books on how to draw manga or anime, or to play video games you like, or learn to play an instrument, or learn a foreign language, or learn a new skill, or just get a good night's sleep. Take care of yourselves. Drink adequate water. Maybe eat less processed food. I know one big thing. ASMR is really nice, and of course, there's lots of different ASMR. And yes, some of them outright are sexual. Some of them are very, very sexual and lewd. And of course, I'm sure there's people out there that make very weird ASMR in ways that would make people very uncomfortable. And there's some ASMR out there that's no talking at all. And it's just various sounds like Tibetan singing bowls, or maybe just the sound of getting an ear cleaning sort of thing. Or just sounds that are supposed to be relaxing. And sometimes, it's a guided ear cleaning by an anime girl or an anime boy. I'm bisexual, so I enjoy both. And in general, sometimes you can enjoy either one even from a non-sexual standpoint, because I said, many of them, yeah, can be a bit flirtatious. And many of them, there's no sexual element to it at all. It's just, okay, this is a person who's trying to relax you. And I'll tell you this, it's different things for different people. Like, some people would enjoy the music of the band Korn or Skrillex a lot, and some people wouldn't. I'm not judging you for your taste in music. If all you like is, I don't know, country music, then good for you. It's not really my cup of tea, but if you enjoy it, then that's good for you. I think the idea is you should try new types of music to see what you think of it, and if you don't like it, you don't like it. But if you do like it, then, well, it's like finding a new flavor of ice cream. And I'm fat. But I like Dairy Queen. I like ice cream. I know one time, back in 2015, I came across a Godiva store. They don't exist anymore, but they had a dark chocolate soft serve ice cream, and it was like, so good. It's like everyone's like, stop being fat, Lunar. I'm like, ah. And everyone's like, why do you have such terrible luck with relationships, Lunar? And the answer is, I'm poor, I'm ugly as fuck, I'm chubby, and I have severe PTSD. So, all are things that people... Also, I don't exactly have the most masculine, alpha male bullshit personality. I am possibly autistic and ADHD. I don't know. Maybe I've just become more eccentric as I've gotten older. But it's just... I don't really know what my personality is. I imagine most people would just describe me as a whiny bitch and just a depressed killjoy and someone just undeserving of love in any way. I mean, not an inaccurate way to describe me. I hurt my own feelings, but hey, my feelings don't matter. So, but yeah, I don't remember what I was talking about. Something about AI. Alright, I was doing the VR chat thing. I stood there for an hour just staring out that window, looking at the city that was during a rainstorm at night. In a game where you're supposed to be talking to people, I just stood there for an hour, not talking to anyone, not even listening to anything, just listening to the rain, watching the rain. It's not even real. It's just imaginary rain in an imaginary city. In a place that's meant for antisocial people, I'm still not... Don't get me wrong, I can talk to people. And despite having a bit of an anxiety, whatever personality when it comes to talk to people, I still, have put myself out there quite a bit to talk to people. And I feel that when push comes to shove, I did a pretty good job of it. Being able to talk and communicate with people. Though usually I use the people I'm talking to as a kind of a sounding board to keep myself from wandering off topic. Otherwise, I'll just... Plus, I try to talk about stuff people want to talk about. You have to keep things appropriate for public. As well as, in general, I tend to do a lot more listening than I do talking. Heck, if I ever have a relationship, I'm just more of a lovey-dovey, hyper-affectionate person who loves cuddles and showers. Everyone's like, you sound lame. I'm like, I know. People tend to think I'm a very boring person. I'm just a person who likes to be laid back, chill, play video games, take naps, and go for walks on bike trails. It's like, welcome, I am the most boring person on the internet. But, whatever. It's like, you also have stuffed animals and you try to juggle. And you also try to play your guitar very badly. I was thinking about doing Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, but it's like 70 fucking bucks. But main point being is this. The environments from the few VR chat rooms I saw on VR chat, they were really comfy looking. It was really cool. And that's another thing. I made a video once called Touch Grass, the video game. And the idea is like, what if there was like a VR chat type game, but it used like background environments from like Mega Man Legends or Brave Bits Musashi, like the underground underwater lake, Lake Junon in Mega Man Legends 1. You know, or just various video game backgrounds. Like imagine if you had the backgrounds from like the original Bloodborne game, but no enemies or anything, and it's just you're just chilling. And the music, the ambient sound, the aesthetics. I mean, and yeah, you could make like a VR chat thing and people could be like talking to each other. But I just think the video game backgrounds look really cool. And part of me's thinking like, what if I use like AI to like just use like, hey, guess what, guys? We're gonna have a Elden Ring graphics level type just rendition of like Final Fantasy VIII backgrounds, like Balaam Garden, or stuff from Final Fantasy IX. Like, I just think video game backgrounds are just really nice and really pretty, and I like the worlds. Granted, they'd be really dangerous to actually live in, but I just think they look very beautiful and look really pretty. And sometimes I think of things like take the stages from Robo Warrior for the NES, the original Nintendo by Jaleco, the Japanese leisure company. It's a 1987 game, Robo Warrior. And it's a really good game. But sometimes I imagine, like, what if you were to show, the environment from that, but as 3D sort of art? And I don't mean necessarily like the art itself is 3D, but like you're doing like Elden Ring, it's like it's a 2D screen picture on your screen, but you're showing like a 3D environment. Like, what if you took the stuff from like Robo Warrior or Dragon Spirit, and you just, or even just the original Mario games or Sonic the Hedgehog, and put it like in Elden Ring type graphics, or just played around with different aesthetics. Like what if you took the game Brave Fence Musashi and you made it like Silent Hill. And I'm not even talking like the remake Silent Hill. I'm talking like the original Silent Hill from like PS1 where they had the polygons. Because yeah, I know it's more limited to what we currently have, but sometimes the way the graphics were represented in the original PlayStation kind of makes for a more spooky horror game that's more unsettling. I don't know. But I guess one big thing is like I just taking a bunch of cool things from retro video games or just other video games and just heck, maybe I could call it like, the Paradise Project or something. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, I'm just saying this. Like, I'm describing a lot of video game backgrounds as just being very pretty, right? So rather than going anything cool, why don't we just go for stuff that's beautiful? Like, heck, sometimes I think it's a bit depressing that, or I don't know, disappointing that the trees, that there's no cherry blossom trees really anywhere where I live. Sometimes I think it'd be cool if I could choose between thousands of different bike trails instead of just the same one. And I could have tons of safe, beautiful locations, and like I could see cherry blossom trees, or imagine like the things like the times like just a big forest of cherry blossom trees, and you're seeing the leaves falling, and you're just, I don't know. I like walking on bike trails. I like hiking in nature. But I don't like sleeping outside anymore. I did a lot when I was in Boy Scouts with that, but I like my comfy bed. I like my stuffed animals. I like cuddling. I like just naps and bed. It's nice. I like my bed. It's comfy. Everyone, but it's just I just think a lot of the video game backgrounds, like say Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX, like there's so many different locations and environments in those two games, but a lot of those places just look really pretty. I think it'd be cool just to see those environments in a different way. And maybe I could use AI to do that. And maybe I could like do stuff with like the old NES games, like Robo Warrior, Dragon Spirit, and take some of the old retro enemies or backgrounds or ideas, and I could bring them to life. And like I said, call it a paradise project or something like that, you know, or something like the Heaven Project. Paradise Project would be better. But the idea being like this: what if you could have a bunch of pictures by AI that's just beautiful backgrounds of beautiful scenes of nature with a bunch of comfy, cozy cabins with every modern comfort you can imagine, and like set up, yeah, like the VR chat things, to where you have this large open space to where people feel comfy and invited and safe, and you have all these people that can just talk to each other, and you can get to know people, and you can make friends, or at least have people to talk to, and you get to just walk around and enjoy just, you know, say you're in the middle of a field and there's a bunch of little comfy chairs and there's a cherry blossom tree. But now imagine that, VR chat, but like in Bloodborne. There's no enemies, there's nothing trying to kill you. It's just, you're a bunch of anime characters hanging out in like a Bloodborne level. Or in something from Silent Hill, or Gex Enter the Gecko, or Sonic the Hedgehog, or whatever. And you're just chilling and relaxing. I don't know. I know it sounds silly. But yeah, I do describe myself as 11 different fusions. It's technically 22 anime characters. But I feel that each of these 11 fusions, I feel that several of them, particularly Mikan Sumiki and Date from AI the Somnium Files, or Nagisa from Assassination Classroom, or Chronogorgon, or Vasha Stampede, actually are very, very much like my actual personality in of themselves, even without being fused to anybody. But I feel like each of these fusions, I don't look like them in terms of personality, though I would say my PFP looks like a fusion of Yusuke, Urameshi, and Sailor Moon, and there is an anime character that I feel looks like a fusion that I use sometimes as a representation of myself, because it's a lot cuter than what I actually look like. I do not look sexy or handsome IRL. Honestly, you'd probably just... I'd probably make everyone just vomit in their mouths the moment they see me, so probably best for us all to just imagine that I'm a cute, sexy anime boy instead of what I actually look like, for the sake of just, I don't know, my own self-esteem. Or your own sanities. I don't know. Whichever is, I don't know, more tasty? I don't know. What the fuck? But yeah, like there's a dude with pink hair who likes lollipops, which I'll probably start sharing more pictures of in the community posts, of just, it's a random anime character I found that I thought looked cool. And I'm like, sure, why not? And it's not like I'm like claiming to be that character. I'm just like saying, hey, I like this aesthetic. He looks cool. I don't know. I think he looks like a fusion of Jack Hanma from Baki the Grappler and Astolfo. And I think it's hilarious. So it's just sort of a long-running joke that I'm sort of annoying all of you with. But yeah, the 11 Dragon Ball Z fusions that represent my personality. If you want to know my appearance, you guys know Lavos from Chrono Trigger? Yeah, I didn't get paid for being in that game. But yeah, for my actual physical appearance, I look like the DBZ fusion of Tim Curry and Jack Nicholson if they were a Fallout ghoul. So, do a Dragon Ball Z fusion, like give one Batari earring to Tim Curry, give another Batari earring to Jack Nicholson, and then after that, expose them to 100 years of nuclear waste radiation. Then you have what I look like. I look like a Fallout ghoul. That's a fusion of Tim Curry and Jack Nicholson. Or I look like Sayori from Doki Doki Literature Club. Or the Venus from Fiend Folio Binding of Isaac. And not the statue. Or Shimio from Deathmark, the original Deathmark. I actually had a good friend once tell me they were trying to cheer me up too. They meant well, but they said, Lunar, you're actually a really cool guy. It's too bad your face looks like that. It's like, fuck you too, man. So yeah. But isn't that the story of a lot of people on the internet? Hey, I'm a very ugly person, but I'm going to pretend I look like this cute anime character because I feel like it. Anyway, the 11 Dragon Ball Z fusions that represent me as a person in terms of personality. Fusion 1. Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho and Sailor Moon. Fusion 2. Astolfo and Jack Hanma from Baki the Grappler. Fusion 3. Chrono Gorgon from Soul Eater and Vash the Stampede from the original Trigun. Fusion 4. Stein from Soul Eater and Nagisa from Assassination Classroom. Fusion 5. Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy from the movie The Cable Guy and Jim Varney's Ernest. Fusion 6. Vegeta and 2003 Guilty Gear XX Testament. So there's a character called Testament from Guilty Gear. I'm talking about the one from 2003. Fusion number 7, Goku from DBZ, and Tsukasa from Dot Hack Sign the anime. Fusion 8, Shinji Ikari from the original Evangelion, and Zelos Metallium from the 1995 anime Slayers, starring Lena and Verse. Fusion 9. Licked Bak Rihito from the Plunderer anime, and Takumi Nishijo from the Chaos Head Noah visual novel, which I have done a Let's Play of. Fusion number 10. Date from AI The Somnium Files, and Mikan Sumuki from Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Island. Fusion 11. Alucard from Team 4 Star's Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and Mega Man Volnut from Mega Man Legends. Okay, well, let's, actually play the thing that everyone's... Like I said, this will be the only video that has the intro. I just felt like talking. So, about to say bye, but we have a few more minutes of, possibly enjoyable content. This is Lunar D8 signing out.